These mics don't work.
No, it's just for show at this point.
Yeah, we're going to make them work. All right.
Here.
That's it. So, the movie that we are reviewing today is one we just watched called
Run Lola Run.
Run Lola Run. Or in its original German, Lola Rennt. And this movie came out, I'm sad to say, more than 25 years ago. Yes. So it came out before you were born. Of course, a lot of the movies that we're reviewing came out before she was born. Movies like this are rare because they come out of a burst of inspiration. They just sort of take it by storm. I saw this movie when I was in film school. It really did a number on me. I thought it was amazing. I love the editing. I love the music, which was pretty much all done by the director and writer, Tom Tykwer, who did an amazing job. They kind of threw this together, not necessarily at the last minute, but they definitely didn't have the prep time that you usually do. They shot it very quickly. I think it was less than 20 days. This actress, Franca Potente, or Franca Potente, there I did it right. This actress, Franca Potente, or Potent, I really don't know how to say her name. I'm so sorry, Franca. Franca Potent. Anyway,
We'll get it right eventually.
I'll get it. Anyway, she did an amazing job. She is personifying this character that has choices to make. And if you've not seen the movie, I would suggest you see it before we reveal more details.
Well, I mean, all of these are going to be obvious.
Yeah, they're pretty much spoiler-free.
Yeah, every single one of them is spoiler-free.
My takeaways were this, and this applies to good storytelling, but also applies to the point of our channel and what we want to do. And it deals with hope. Your characters have to go through things in order to give them hope, something to look forward to. But part of that is a yielding to what you're meant to do. This deals with a higher power. This deals with, fate and destiny. With hers, the first timeline was pure fear and reaction.
Yeah.
And that ended miserably, like she died.
Yeah.
The second timeline was her taking control.
Yeah, like her forcing herself on what was going on.
Right. She's going to make it happen. She's going to engineer circumstances to get the result that she wants. She is going to basically rely on herself.
Yeah.
To do it in her own power.
We all know how that goes.
But the third timeline is what I call the yielding timeline, where she knows she has to do something, but it's all scintillated down in that sequence where she closes her eyes and she's running. And to me, that's her praying. You can argue, you can get another interpretation, but I think it's pretty clear, because who's she talking to? Her dad's not there, her boyfriend's not there, there's no one there, she's closing her eyes, and she says, "Help me, I'll just keep running, okay?" That scene hit me so much that I took the Blu-ray, this one, and I did a screenshot of just that with the subtitles, because this movie is in German, by the way.
Yes, everything is in German.
I took the subtitle, "I'll just keep running, okay?" And I had that as my screensaver while I was in film school, because it was so arduous to get through film school. I just had to have the faith that I was going to complete it. Believe it or not, that prayer that she does in that movie and that screenshot carried me through a lot. Really just fixated on that. And so when she did, and this is the takeaway that I have, is that when she did finally yield to her purpose and the will for her life was spared. Her boyfriend's life was spared. She came to a realization. She used her gift, silly as it is her screaming, but it is her gifting. And not only did her boyfriend get taken care of, but she also got a blessing of the winnings of the casino. Now, a lot of these choices I'm not morally agreeing with. I'm just saying that the through line, the thread of it, was that she yielded to a higher power and he orchestrated the circumstances and she got blessed more than she ever thought.
Yeah.
In creative terms, this could be called trusting the process, because it seems all crazy and discombobulated and it's not coming together. But if you trust the process, your creation will eventually fall into place.
I follow this one artist who actually, surprisingly enough, makes dolls. She just takes apart what's already there. Usually these dolls are thrown away or not wanted by any kids anymore. And she'll take it apart and then put it back together and make this absolutely amazing, detailed, beautiful piece of art. She'll make the clothes, she'll make the face, she'll make the hair, she'll design everything. She'll put the work into every single bit and piece that could be as small as a grain of rice. She closed in on one part where she was making a character that was more, like, had different limbs of some kind, and it was all clay and doll pieces, and it looked really creepy, and she said, this is my favorite part, where it really looks like a craft project. Even though it's obviously not looking pretty right now, it will, and you know it, and it's fun, and it's cool. I don't know, I really like that artist. Could I mention them, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doll-lightful. Doll-lightful is just an absolutely delightful person. She makes amazing dolls, and go watch her. It's great.
Yeah, so we'll put a link for that in the comments, I guess.
Description.
We'll
Yes.
put a link for that in the description.
Yeah.
And then you guys can check her out too, because we want to support and encourage other artists also. She has stuff to show. We don't yet, so
Yes, exactly. She's so much, so pretty. Back to Run Lola Run.
Right. So what can we learn from this? Well, we already kind of talked about that a little bit, but as far as storytelling goes, that character went through 3 mini arcs and became a different person at the end
Of each one, yeah.
than a fully realized person at the very end of it.
Yeah.
She did have hope for the future. At first, there was no hope, utter despair.
Yeah, just freaking out.
You know, and then in the middle there was just tension and aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And she was ruining lots of people's lives. And then in the last one, she yielded and got not only what her goal was, but beyond blessed. Mm-hmm. And so that's my encouragement to you guys, so that if you're reacting to this stuff out of fear, your creation, he's like, I gotta make this. I don't know how to do this. It's just
calm down.
Calm down. Take a moment. You know, you don't have to take total control over it. You can actually
take it step by step.
Take it step by step. Yield, center, and try to get focused. And then let the creative process flow. You can get other collaborators along.
You can only control what you can control.
Right.
And you shouldn't try to control everything, because you can't.
Now let's talk craft a little bit. So this movie was made on a very low budget. He shot it on film. He shot it on video. And he even used animation for a sequence that he couldn't afford to shoot, which was her going down the stairs.
Which is awesome, because another artist got put into the mix.
I got inspiration from this movie to make my student film, and so in my short film, which is called Pathways, which I may show at some point, it deals with 3 timelines. It was directly inspired by this. It's not the same movie, but it really kind of influenced me, because in it the character has to make moral choices. She learns through trial and error what to do and what not to do, and ultimately she's free at the end. That kind of character can motivate people in their life when they see your movie to maybe take a moment and reevaluate where they are. Mm-hmm. And say, you know, maybe I should make a change. Maybe I should sacrifice this, or stop doing that, or start doing this.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is taking that first step, and I know that full well. I talk a lot about things. I like theories. I ruminate. Don't worry, I'll overthink it. So we're doing it. This is one of our earlier videos. We don't have all the equipment. Our mics don't work. We're trying things out, but we're going to keep at it until we get better and better. Yeah. We're just, saying the same for you. So just keep at it, Start doing it for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that is a very, very good thing. Just start it for 5, maybe 15 minutes, and then say, oh yeah, I'll be done. And then once you get started, you'll be like, I want to actually keep going, The
hardest thing is gaining that inertia. When I edit, I can't just start editing. I know it sounds really weird. Creatively, you do have to ramp up, but you have to start. Once you make that first step, you'll build on it, and you'll grow, and you'll get excited, and you'll get more into it, and then all of a sudden 3 hours pass and you have no idea what happened. Yeah. And you'll have created something, and then you might hit a wall, and then it's okay to step away. A friend of mine who works in the industry, he will have a problem, not know how to solve it, and he will do something very analog. Go take a walk. Enough for him to get his mind cleared. Usually the solution presents itself. Then he comes back and he says, we should do this. And pretty much always it works out.
Same actually goes with art. I actually do something kind of similar. One of the art tips in the digital art world is to flip your canvas. Quite literally changing your perspective, because when you stare at something for too long, your brain starts to warp what you're looking at. Same goes for if you take a picture of yourself. If you stare at it too long, you start thinking that you look ugly, and you don't. It's actually just your brain. It is actually the psychological thing. Yeah. If you stare at it for too long, your brain will go buggy. If I'm staring at it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, this is just turning out terrible. I just flip the canvas and I'm like, oh, it's right in front of me.
So let us know what some things that you do to kind of clear your mind, clear your head, or get past a block of some time. George Lucas said that when he was writing Star Wars, he would talk about how each scene is approximately 2 pages, and a movie is 90 minutes to 2 hours. So you just chop that up into how many 2-minute scenes, write that scene. And then your scenes turn into sequences. Your sequences turn into acts. Your acts turn into a movie. Even if it stinks, write it.
Yeah, I tend to do this thing where when I'm developing a character of sorts, I just tend to have little glimpses in my head, and then I just write that down. And from there, I learn something new about the character, and I'm able to develop more about their story. It's actually a really fun thing to do. It's like I'm learning about a person.
Yeah, I mean, eventually your characters will start telling you how to write them.
Speaking of, this movie actually inspired me. I ended up getting bits and pieces of this when I was really little, remembering very little about it, but remembering running and music. And it was just constant going, and that momentum inspired me to make a character that's kind of like a super spy in a superhero world. And I'll maybe show you later if you ask about it, but all of the cool music on this disc is actually in the playlist that I made for that character.
Yeah. So it's Run Lola Run. It is in German.
No, it's in a different language.
It's got subtitles, but here's the kicker.
Reading!
Here's the kicker. These days, people use subtitles for English movies. So you're used to it now. It just... I don't understand why you watch movies with subtitles that are in the language that you speak, but you get a pass on this one because it is in German, but we highly recommend you watching this movie. Again, we don't approve of everything that's in it, but...
Yeah.
It's a wonderful showcase of storytelling, character development, and ultimately hope.
Yep.
So I hope you check it out and enjoy.
Bring it back to life.
That's right. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bit out of frame.
It's already recording.
I've got so many versions of this. I'm a bit of a nerd here.
I wouldn't have known if you hadn't told me.
So I had it on DVD, and Fast Cash, Crazy Fate, and True Love. And then I got it on Blu-ray, and then I was actually able to have her sign it, which was awesome. And then Umbrella came out with another version of it, because they didn't know that they would be coming out with a 4K, and then they came out with a 4K, which looks fantastic, by the way. I mean, this was shot on the cheap, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a big proponent of physical media because you can't always find this stuff streaming. And so I would highly suggest that you check it out. And it is definitely a repeat viewing.
At one point you said that, like, you knew about her powers or something, and I don't know if I remember.
Well, that was her power, was the screaming.
Just screaming?
Yeah.
Straight up screaming? If I yell, I get what I want. No.
Alrighty. Turning off?
I guess so.
Okay.